Hello everybody, welcome to the channel update for August 2018. I hope you're all having a great day. Apologies, this is on my mobile. I don't have my camera to hand at the moment, but just before I try and fixate myself in a decent place, tapestry backdrop. Don't judge me, I've not ironed it yet. So yeah, that's my backdrop for in future. Liking it a lot, and I just wanted to make sure that it works when I'm on camera. You know what I mean. I knew they'd be in the background. Anyway, I just wanted to let everyone know that the format of Higher Plane Games, the YouTube channel, is going to be changing for the better, I hope, for people going forward in the future. And I just wanted to explain exactly why that is coming and what is coming. I'll do the what first, because if you're not interested in the why, you can stop. Bye-bye. So, we're going to daily themed stuff here on Higher Plane Games, so that each day will have a very specific feel to a different type of video game genre. So, on Mondays, it's going to be Musical Mondays, which is going to be your music and rhythm action games. So Musync will continue on. Neon Drive, I think, kicks back off next week. But it will let me do, like, the Taiko no Tatsujin stuff will come out on a Monday. And I can start to explore other rhythm games without feeling that I'm kind of going to start drowning the content everywhere else. So all music games will come out on the Monday. That might mean that you might get several videos on that Monday, but you'll now know that if you aren't interested in music games, just ignore me on Mondays on your subscription feed and continue on. Tuesdays are going to be racing games. I've tried to call it, you've got Musical Mondays and Entired Tuesdays. We're at a push here for alliteration, but I went for it. So all your racing games will be there. So Gravel, which we're currently in the middle of, will pop onto a Tuesday. Onrush starts next week, so that'll be good. And F1 2018, my career playthroughs will be on a Tuesday as well. So there's going to be quite a lot of different content on different days. But again, if you're not interested in racing games, just ignore me on a Tuesday. It's okay. Wednesdays are currently kind of tentatively either going to be called Retro Wednesdays or just Adventure Wednesdays. And it's because I want to start playing proper platformer adventure type games again onto the channel. And quite a lot of the ones that I've kind of had the most requests for are on the PS1 and PS2 era. So where I've now got the equipment like at my hands now to be able to go, right, let's start recording those old consoles again. It's kind of a bit of both, but it might take me a little while to get going with lots and lots of PS1 and PS2 games. Again, if you're not interested in platformers, don't worry about the Wednesdays. Thursdays are now going to be called Thinker Thursdays. Again, at a push on the alliteration, and this is so that Motorsport Manager can continue, essentially, because I love doing that series, and it's got a small but dedicated following. And on the analytics, I'm really surprised at how long people watch that videos for. So yay! I'm glad that the people that do watch it do like it. Otherwise, I would not be at episode 90. I think is about the next one I'm going to record at present time. So yeah, looking forward to that. But also City Builders and stuff like that will be on a Thursday. So I'm looking at getting into things like Jurassic Park Evolution, I think is the name of the game. I've just got it on PS4. So looking forward to that. And City Skylines will come back, that kind of stuff. Then Friday is tentatively called Fantasy Friday, but it's essentially things that don't fit into those four categories can get plopped onto there. So the Abzu relaxation sessions, because that's all fantasy and ooh, and like kind of a bit more weird and out there games can be on the Fun Friday. And the idea is that the Let's Play content will stay Monday to Friday in the weekday. Then on the Saturday and Sunday, you'll get very specific, a bit more higher production value content. And I mean that in the nicest possible way, as opposed to watching me play games and me commenting about how terrible I'm generally doing in them. So Saturdays are going to be the game review day. So any review that I've got on an upcoming game or a game that's just gone or something like that I've had through from a developer will come on the Saturday. Also on Saturdays, you'll find the Failcast F1 stuff will still continue every second Saturday pretty much, unless there's a scheduling issue. Sunday is going to be where I'm doing very like special content, and I've called it Smithy Sunday because it's going to be pieces to camera, not on my phone like this, like on my proper camera, with proper editing, and they're going to be things like top 10 lists, my favourites or why I love series I'm going to be kicking off, where I pick a game from God knows when and talk about why I like it and so on and so forth, as well as doing a bit of edutainment as well. So I'm going to be breaking into a little bit of game development and game design, and I'd like to kind of have a go at trying all of the different, like, really simple, easy ways to start programming and those types of tools, and seeing what can be done with them, and then sharing those levels or those games that we may create together with you all as the community. And then you can laugh at how terrible my game design is. So yeah, that would be quite fun and interesting. Alongside that, on the Sundays as well, will be developer and composer interviews. So I'm working with quite a few different games companies at the moment about setting up specific interviews to talk about how they design games, what they put into it, that kind of stuff. So I hope that'll be a really different type of content for people that will go down well. So we shall see. Now, there's a couple of things that will mean. It will mean that on some days you'll get quite a few videos in your subscription feed from me about a certain genre of game. But this is because I feel like I'm being held back by the fact that I've chosen games that have got loads and loads of levels. And I just can't get through those games because I want to showcase as many weird and wonderful games as possible. So that's why I've gone for the themed days initially as my big first thing. So I hope that that's not going to be too much of a problem. And if it is, I do understand. You don't want to, but the videos will be spread out in a way that you won't be like flooded with like 10 videos all at once. I wouldn't do that to you. But again, because of the themed days, I just hope that that kind of makes sense. And you're like, okay, well, it's platform day. I'm not interested in that. The other kind of things that the reasons why I want to go into this type of stuff is over the next 12 to 15 months, my life is going to be a little bit more complicated and difficult. Sadly, my dad isn't particularly very well, and he's not going to be around for much longer than 15 months, like max. So I need to get myself into a schedule where I can pump out the content that I want to do, that I still feel happy doing, that isn't a slog, but that also then gets me into a routine so that I can plan ahead, because I know that there's going to be periods of time. Like last week, for example, was not a good time to be putting out any kind of content whatsoever. And I couldn't. Because there was a lot of stuff that was going on. So a lot of this means that I can pre-plan and get things in position so that I'm like, right, I know that I've got this covered. I can spend time with the people that matter. And also not put myself into burnout as well. I run a very stressful day job at the moment. I don't particularly go into what I do as a day job on this channel, but it is highly stressful and very reactive in central government, and it makes me very tired, very stressed. And with that, on top of a very unwell father, and wanting to do a lot of these projects because they're cathartic for me and they help me unwind. But then I start, like, when you start putting pressure on yourself, you're like, oh, I've not done 2 videos today. This is disgraceful. This type of format means that I could have 3 videos going out on Monday, but 1 on Tuesday, and that's okay. And I don't get into such a rigid, like, oh my God. So I hope that makes sense for people. It also means that I can spread my time a little bit more wisely with other stuff. So it's not just this YouTube channel I do. I run highplanegames.com, the website, but it's so stop and start because it's always the last thing after I've done the videos. So I need to kind of go, right, the videos are done. Focus on the website. The website's getting good feedback. It's also getting some good hits on some days as well, actually. But it's too stop and start for people to be invested. So I just need to siphon off my time to do one or the other, and this is a very good way for me. On top of that, I'm also doing lots of stuff with music, and a few other little mini pet projects on the side as well. And I don't have the time to do it all. And this is the easiest one to schedule in a way that works for me. So I'm really sorry. That's a 10-minute rant. Sorry. Go have a donut. Enjoy yourself. And you guys will take care. Thank you so much, as always, for being supportive. If you do like what I do, then please consider support me over on Patreon, because it helps me get things like this and games to play through and stuff. But there's no pressure. So if you like it, go for it. If you don't, don't. Till next time, you guys take care. And probably the next time you'll see me at such an extended length on camera will be on the F1 2018 launch.